Hey everyone, welcome back to Aarambh. Today I am building something really special, a time capsule project using Axum REST for the backend and Next.js for the frontend. It's gonna be clean, fast and super exciting. If you want to support my work, consider buy a me coffee, link in the description, and hey, we are have a Discord server where you can connect with other developer and ask questions and share your work. Join us, link in the below description. Also, for the first time ever, I am using my own voice in this video. I will love to know what you think. Should I continue with my real voice or go back to AI voice? Link in the like a previous video. But before that in the code, let me show you a quick demo of what we are going to build. Okay, our project something look like this. Here you can create a capsule with a name, testing John, email of example at gmail.com, capsule title testing John, hello John. When you want to set the unlock your capsule, you can create like this, and this is your URL. You can copy from here and share with anyone who want to see whether it on that day will unlock them. Okay. If you go back to our capsule, you can see there is a created by someone else like Aarambh. We created this message and this message look like the session message is so good to look. Okay, that is our project for today. We are creating. You can see here our recently added capsule on homepage. Today we are going to create this project. Okay, let's build from start. Okay, let's create a new project in backend. Open any empty folder or I am opening capsule tutorials. You can open any empty folder, open is terminal, and there you can run cargo new backend, which will create our new backend project. Here you can see it created our new backend project. Let's open it in VS Code using command. It will open your project in VS Code. Wait a minute, I will see you. So you, yeah, this is our project. We are working on it. Okay, it will create our cargo.toml file. It will manage all dependencies where we need in this project. Okay, there is a HRC folder, and in HRC folder there is a main file is function main print hello world. Only this code. Okay, this is the main file. This is the main file where our project will start from here. This main folder, main function. This is main thing. Okay, let's add our dependency in next section and start work with it. Now we have created and opened our cargo folder plus project in backend for backend hour. Let's open it cargo.toml file and add dependency which we need in this project. Okay, we are adding after add and save to for cargo.toml file. VS Code automatically download and store your all dependency. But if it not works, you can run this command. Wait a minute, the terminal is opening. Open your terminal and you can run this command cargo build. It also build our project, download and save our dependency for our this project. But in VS Code, if you are install it Rust analyzer, Rust analyzer is will automatically do for your work. Okay, we not I'm not running the command because my Rust analyzer is doing same work. Okay, let's close and let's see which dependency we are using in this project. We are using async thread for asynchronous programming. If you see in all project when I am using a database connection, I am using the async thread. It is easy and connection more fastly. Synchronized trading thread in our project. Chrono for Chrono for our dead time utilizing okay .env for load our all env file or all env file. Search for serializing SQLite for our database communication with PostgreSQL. Yes. And UUID for unique unit identification, validation for validate our all incoming requests, and here Axum for this is a framework we are using for HTTP. But I am let's remove this multi-path. We are not using it right now. Okay, remove or you can write this or write this. This is so perfect for now. And Tokyo, our this is the nice library where we are using it for the unique string generate for our project is generated on Unix at all time. Okay, let's see our project. Okay, after it will run our project after. Okay, let's see our project. Now our dependency is ready and our project. Let's go with create a .env file for our environment variable. Let's create .env file in your root project and add this. This is database URL, PostgreSQL and Time Capsule Uto real but ignore the spelling. Replace your username of your PostgreSQL with here and your password with here and localhost. This is by default you're running. If you're using different port in your system for PostgreSQL running, you can write your post here. Otherwise, do the same what I'm doing and name or your database here. Okay, it will connect SQL. Take this URL and connect with our PostgreSQL database automatically. We not need to write anything for more it. Okay, let's create our migration folder now and add our create our database using a SQL command and create our table in database using SQL command. First, we need to create a migration folder. Let's create it first. Okay, let's first open your terminal and run this command for your SQL CLI installation. Cargo info SQLX CLI. No default feature. We don't need any default feature. We need and only feature native TLS and Postgres because we are using in this project Postgres database. That's why we need the Postgres feature only. We are not using any SQL. If we are not use no default feature, this means is download for all type of database which is supportable. Is supportable three type of database: SQL, MySQL, SQLite, and Postgres. But we are using in the project Postgres, so feel so and you can use this command only feature in native TLS and Postgres. Well, I am not running this command because I have already done it. And now let's run a new command which is SQLX migrate add with table name. I am using a table. Use any other table name of we you want to use. I'm just using a this table name and let's create it. It will create our new migration folder. You can see here this is the migration folder. Okay, now we need to add our Wait a minute. Now just close the terminal and open this folder. You can see here is a timestamp which time this file is created. 2025 4 this month it's running, and date and the time of which time it's created. Okay, and the table name. Okay, in this file you can write this our what the table. We are using only one table. We are not creating any authentication system like create authentication and it will say the publicly. No, we are using only just publicly. If you want to, you can operate this project. Okay, because we are extension for our PostgreSQL the user UUID automatically generated by our PostgreSQL. Not we are using. Okay, create if table not exist means if table the capsule table is not in database, then it will create automatically. If there is a table, then it will not create, just update. Okay, first we are using id for unique identification. We are using public id, the text unique not null. Okay, this public id generate with our this dependency. Okay, the name of the user with the user is creating capsule, the email of that user and title of the capsule, and the message which user want to see after capsule unlock. Which time the capsule unlock, the time zone is here. Which time is created, is unlocked or not, or is mail sent or not. We are not using this one right now. Okay, it's not for our project right now, but I am using. If you want to upgrade the project, we send the mail and everything, you can use that. Okay, now just close it and run the command which I am showing you here. Just open terminal, and first we need to create our database. SQL command, SQL database create. Okay, this give me error. The error is written from the database is password authentication failed for username. I am not updated here the username and the password. You can just update username which username are you using and password which are using. Let me update the password and username first. Okay, that I am updating the username and password first, and I will show you it will how it will create our database. Okay, wait a minute, I am just coming. I am just updated my username and password in env file SQLite. You can just update SQLite create database create. This is command the database create in our Postgres. Okay. Now database is created. Now you need to run only one command, SQLite migration run. After this command, you can see apply our table name and timestamp of a migration. This timestamp folder means is updated, created is this table in database. Okay. Now let's start our project with config file and open next section we see. Okay, bye. Okay guys, let's start with our config.rs file. Okay, this file is majorly handle our database connects, sorry, load or our environment variable. This in src folder create a config.rs file. After it create in main folder main file under rs file, open it and write more config like this. It will load our config file in for our project, and we are using it anywhere in our project. Okay, let's write here our code pub struct config. In our here we have database URL. This is a string and pub pub port for our port number for running our backend. In which port we are running our backend, and here derive. You can use debug and clone. Just it's running our analyzing and running our project. Okay. Implement config and pub fn init folder. For this folder is load our full config file. Use config, it will return only a config. Okay. Let database URL from std env where you can use here database URL the dot expect. This expects mean if in our .env variable we did not find our database URL, it means it will return this message we are writing here. Database URL must be set. Okay. If in our environment variable there is not find any database URL variable with this name, then it will return thus our database URL must be set error. Okay. Let here we config and return our database URL and port 8000, not 8080. You can set here any port, but I am using 8000. Okay. This file is completed and it will here we are created a struct with debug and clone derive, which means we can debug this struct where we have any error or not, and clone means when our clone this struct we can clone it. Okay. Init, this is a simple function where you can init our database. This will load our database URL from our environment variable and give us database URL in a return in a computer, and it will return our port with it 8000. Okay. Let's close it, and next we are what we do. Okay. If you see in our config.rf file, there is giving me a simple error where I am a user this semicolon, but we need to use our comma. That is my mistake. Don't we do this mistake? Okay, we can save. After is save it and load it, it will automatically remove this error. Okay. Now let's create our dtos file, dtos.rs file in our src folder. After it, you can just we need to run now mod dtos. Okay. The now dtos is available in our full project when we need to use it anywhere. Okay. First, I am creating a derive. Now let's just use the struct pub struct capsule struct I am creating. And here I am adding a derive for debug and clone. Okay, it's using a pub ID and UUID from UUID or club public ID, which is string, pub name, which is also a string, pub email, which is also a string, pub title, which is also a string, pub message, which is also a string, pub unlock. Right. Okay. Which time it need to unlock? This is optional. Date time, data time, test time from chrono and use UTC from also from chrono. Okay. You can see here. Okay. Now created as option date time UTC same because it's saved in our database as a date time variable. Let's see you time zone. Okay, it means our time zone is null. We are writing here, but our database give it optional. Okay, because we are writing here optional is unlock it. Okay, it also optional boolean pub email send. It is also optional boolean, but we are writing here bool. Okay, to this now we are writing a pub struct create capsule request. Which request come in PH capsule? Okay. Let that derive. Debug means debug. Deserialize. Validate. Validate. We are doing it. Let's first write our pub name. That is string. We need a name. We need email. We need title of message of unlock. Okay. Lock at sheet that time UTC. Okay. Now let's create here a validate. Validate land. Sorry, land spelling mistake. Land mean equal to 1. Message equal to name is required. You can edit your method if you want to edit, but I think so. This is the right method for me. Okay, validate with email. Validate have a function email validation. Okay, if we automatically validate the message the we are passing in email is email or not. We need to not write any other regex code, anything other. It will automatically stay for our project. Now if invalid email format. Okay. If email is not valid format, this will send this message email is invalid format. Device is pass it. Okay. Now validate with length mean 1 equal to 1 message is title is required. Just copy this and paste it here. Change which message is required. Okay. Now you can see clearly which we are using here. Sorry. what we need in create request for capsule. Okay, when we are creating capsule, we need all name, email, title, message, unlocked it, means each keyword, date time, which time we need to unlock our capsule and show the user your capsule unlock and this message you write it here. This is title, this is name of the author, this is name of the email of the author. Okay, we are validating it with our validate library. Now create a new construct with create capsule response. Okay, with derive, debug, serialize. Okay, public ID, which is string. We need to pass it and unlock it at time that time UTC. Where this is our response from when our created is successful, we can respond the public ID which created by our backend for our new capsule. This will always unique. Okay, and unlocked it means unlock which time it will unlock it. That we are passing it from here. Okay, and you can notice I am using in create capsule request only deserialize and response I am using serialize. This means whenever our request come to our backend, deserialize means it will deserialize our JSON to our this sub format. Okay, we are passing our body in a JSON format, but our Rust backend did not understand JSON format. It understand our this struct format. That's why we are using a deserialize or it will deserialize the JSON to our struct format in this struct format and validate it from validate function. It will validate our host variable and pass to our backend service where we are using a create function or anything else. Okay. When our serial life, we are passing a simple struct to the our front end. Okay. But serialize it will convert the struct into a JSON format and our front end will understand easily. Okay. That's why we are using here only a serialize and I am using here only a deserialize. Okay. Let's create a new construct capsule DTO. Okay. I'm using the derive, debug, serialize. Okay. Bug ID. Okay, you can copy it from here, Sam, which is Sam, but we are not using a some values. That will be, I will remove it. Okay, I need the ID, I need public ID, I need name. I don't need the email because we are not seeing the all author email, which is private for author. Okay, we are need the title, we need message, we need unlocked it, we need don't need. Okay, we need also a created it, and also we need it's unlocked it or not. Okay, but we don't need a email send. But here we need to change optional to string because we are whenever we are using this, we need to send our front end with this value. This will not be optional. Okay, it will created by our database now. It's by default create by default is false, or located it we are getting from here and sending it from here. Okay, now let's create the form for it. Implement form from, not from capsule for capsule DTO, means this capsule to this DTO conversion. Okay, fn from value means always a capsule. Therefore, we are using a C, means capsule. Okay, and we need to return a capsule DTO, not full capsule. Or full capsule need have so many email send it. We don't need to send it front-end. Okay, that's why we are using a capsule DTO to send our front-end to all capsule detail. Okay, now here return a capsule DTO like this. Let's format it first. Where it is? Okay, let's format it first like this. You can see we need only some variables. The capsule DTO automatically complete for us. Okay. Now from our ID, from C dot, you can use like this ID. Okay. C dot public ID, C dot name, C dot title, C dot message, C dot unlocked. But here you can see, let's first write everything. C dot created and C dot is unlocked, is unlocked. If I save here this file, it will give you error because in capsule we are using optional, but in capsule DTO we are not using optional. We need to send the anything of any value in this three variables. Okay, unlocked, created, and is unlocked. Okay, that's why we are using here something like unwrapped. Okay, unwrapped. Let's add. And now error gone. Is unwrap means it will send a null or anything else, null, none, anything undefined or null. But we need to something send to the front end which created or unlocked and unlocked. If we don't write here this, it will give error. Otherwise, we need to write here optional string. It means it needs the optional. Okay, but we I not need the optional. I will see you how to you can write here on optional with unwrap. It will not give any error mode. It is saying the email and email send not used the field and unlocked is also not used anywhere. Okay, just ignore this warning and let's create our db.rs, sorry, errors.rs file first. Then we need to create our db.rs file. Okay. Okay, our DTO is now completed. Let's create our new file which is error.rs file. It will return our all error. Sorry, it will return our error in formatted in format. Okay. Create a in SRE folder there create a error.rs file. Okay. And add this in our mod errors. Now error.rs file is globally available in our project. Okay, mod means is globally available any file or any variables. Okay, let's first create a pub struct error response struct. It will have only two field pubs status string and message also string derive debug serialize please. Hmm. I am using this means any error written from our backend to the front end is always in this method. Okay, we always have status. The status always have failed or message which message we need to send. Okay, now let's use implement fmt from our std. Okay, display for error response. When you write, we need this function. Okay, write f. Just follow me what I'm writing here. Suggestion to string self dot under. Okay, we are using a FMTP display for error message. This will properly display our error message. Okay, this means our front end we are using Axum, Axol or Fetch, which this will handle error message perfectly. Okay, now create a new struct which struct name is HTTP error. Okay, use derive, sorry, derive, not delay, derive, debug, and clone. It have only message which is string and status with status code. Status code is come from Axum HTTP status code. Okay. Now implement our HTTP error. Create a function for fn new message message into string and status with status code and it will return simply self. Okay. Now HTTP error message means message dot into and status code means status simple status code. Okay. Now create a new function. Wait a minute. I'm just copying it from here. I will explain you everything. Don't worry. I'm just copying it from here. Okay. Just press and don't worry, I will explain you everything. Just whichever nothing is there. FN new implements the SCP always return the status code which come from our here. Okay. Now is implementing into string. When our message come into string, this is string and status code. SCP always return from here or status code. Okay. Server error means is always a server error. The we are need only in server error we are need only a message. And status code we are defining here server error. Done server error from our status code Axum is giving to us. and here we are using bat request error, any bat request variable, and okay, for here this is called is bat request error. Unique construction means any unique. I will show you. We are using a unique in public ID. If in database this with a same value which exists in our database, and we are also creating a new row, new column with same value, it will return our unique construction value which will config as is code. It means configuring a same variable. Okay. Unauthorized means unauthorized lesson 401 error, and let's import it first from our Axum response, not from HTTP, and JSON also from Axum. Okay, now save it. It will go an error, and here is a HTTP response. This will also go an error. Error response. It's giving us some error. Which error response? Okay, let's copy it. Okay, there is a spelling mistake in error response. Just do this with original spelling, not around. Okay, and I'm creating a input HTTP response. It will return a simple response having a JSON error response self.message. Okay, this message is will first our HTTP send this message. Okay, then our this into response HTTP for into response. Okay, we are creating HTTP error into a input response where which come from our Axum into response, because we are sending all response error and everything success or not into response. This will return our error into this. Okay, perfectly, and it's return into response and shell is using this function. Okay, this page failed. This is our error response from here. You can see you can see this is our error response. Okay, message everything. Okay, it's already here. Texture and message for self and clone it, and just status and lesson respond with and send it to our front end. Okay, just write this code as same as my, don't be anything, otherwise it's not working. Let's create now our database and the function. First we need to create update our main file for our app state and everything. Okay, let's do it first. Now let's update our main.rs file with creating our first struct in MetaDriver pub struct app state. Okay, derive debug from. Okay, in struct we have two variables. First env equal to config from a config file. Okay, pub db underscore client from our db client. Okay, let's create first it. Okay, db client, let's create first db client. Then we continue with it. Okay, create here db.rs file. Okay, in db.rs file first create pub struct. Okay, first we need to mod here mod db.rs file. First here struct db client and derive it db debug clone. Okay, we giving it permission to debug and clone. Here, pool is pool variables from SQLX. Now here use Postgres because we are using a Postgres database. Because we need here pool of Postgres database implement db client of fn new pool equal to pool Postgres, which will return a cell db client pool. Okay, now save it to file and just use from our db client. Okay, now let's update our. Wait a minute, I'm just coming. Wait a minute, guys. I just doing one thing. Okay, let's continue with our main.rs file. Then we create our database query and handler function. Let's first create our database. Now here we are using tracing thing subscribers fnt dot with max level filter debug, debug dot init. Okay, we are first initting station subscriber for debug all our filter or our requests coming out. We debug. And then we need to dot env function. Okay. Okay. It will load our all env variables first. Then okay, first sorry. We need to use here the procure man. When we are using our in document, we need to make our function asynchronous. Okay. Let config equal to config plus init. It will return our all database URL, port number, and we are storing everything in config variable. Let full match first match PG with PostgreSQL full optional. Okay, then it have Mac connect connection variable that will be a 10. We are setting a 10 mesh connection and connect variable with config dot database URL and okay. Okay means print ln like this. You can use here control V, control V, control V. We'll see you this everything. Here I'm using this emoji. If you not want to use another, you can use another. Using this connection to the database is successful. Okay, and we are just returning full error. If some error is gone, and it will print ln. Okay, just use a semicolon here. This will end, and I am using here file. This it means failed to connect to the database. This will return our print all our error, which error is given to our database for connecting. Okay, and it will just t project exist one. It will just exist from our project. Okay, now sorry, here we need to a new. Okay, here we need to use e or error. We are using error. This will return our poll or exist or stop our netting connection. Okay, spelling mistake from here. It will okay. Something goes wrong. Let me check what is wrong here. Okay, we are in having a pool match, full connection optional new. Next connection database. Okay, we need to use a wait because this is connection is asynchronous connection. You can click here. You can see it is async synchronized string using for returning a pull or any error. Okay, PC, let's go. Let's go layer from S3 tower S3. Okay, first layer. Create a new first layer with allow origin. Edit our HTTP. That's local host 3000 because our front end is Next.js and it's running in 3000. It pass to our HTTP sorry, header value from some HTTP header value. Okay, dot unwrap it will return no error. Okay, unwrap this means use some action. Now we need to add headers. Allow headers. This will give a array authentication, accept content type, content and so many type of headers we can set here, but I am using only this. Allow credential. Filter true. It only a false true. And allow method. It also had a method name indexes method from some HTTP method. Okay, which will get method post not fetch post method. So you can use many methods, but I using only three for our project requirement only two. But here authentication also not required for a project. If you are creating for authentication, you can use authentication, otherwise not. And here is a post and get two method requirements on our project, but I am using also put for showing you how it works. Let db connect db client equal to db client new pull. Okay, let app state init env equal to config and db client is a db client. This new pool means where okay, so we need to import authentication. I am not imported this. The means of DB client new pool means we are getting a connection PostgreSQL pool PostgreSQL connection from PG pool optional. It connects a maximum 10 connection between our backend and database using our database URL from config. Okay, it will return a pool. Your pool that is our you can see here go to pool and create a PostgreSQL pool. Okay, we are storing in DB client. This is DB client. We are storing here and returning it DB client pool, and we are storing in DB client variable, and we are using this variable in abstract for application abstract env and DB client. Whenever we need to use, we can use in our application anywhere. Let's create app equal to router. router, not route, router. From Axum router, new. This will create a new route with layer. Now, for now, you can just write with layer extension, write extension with arc, ARC arc with new past just abstract, and with layer just write cross. Now this is our app router created. We are passing our app state to our arc for extension. We are directly using that app state. Okay, we don't. It is supplemental for pass it. Okay, now print ln. Just use this and format macro macro. I am using here emoji. Okay, this is rocket. Here rocket and server is running on HTTP slash local host. Sorry, here only one problem. Point this and config dot port. Okay, let whichever is given to our app. It means router, clone, what is this? Let us see a minute. Okay, you can just remove this for now. Let this snub, create listener, Tokyo, new, TC, sorry, Nokia Net, TCP listener with bind. You can use here for macro, okay, with 0.0.0.0 with port with and config the port, okay, dot await dot unwrap. Okay. Now just Axum serve listener app dot await and unwrap. Okay, now save your main.rs file. It will be okay. Browser config it moving. Okay. Just clone here, config clone before it's moved, and your error will be solved. Just ignore first this warning and for this warning for right now. After we are creating handler and we are adding some route here, then we will let that. Okay, now otherwise you can average R new sorry extension R new app state like this it will some okay now we okay error was no okay now error was no. Let's add some database queries in our here for it. Then we will add our Wait a minute, I'm coming. Then let's first our database query, then we will move to the handler function. Okay, just write here pub create table exit and use here derive, not derive, I think so. Async trait will come from use async trait. Okay, now just create your function async fn create capsule self. Oh, sorry. Here is a curly bracket, not a curve bracket, and it will return our result capsule which created and error error from our where is SQL. Let's define our error here by directly import from error. Okay, from SQL we are using error. We don't need this tool. Okay, let as self name and str email str title and str sorry message and str unlock get and so not at time date time not data time UTC is important pronoun. Okay, now public ID and str. Okay, now use async fm. Let's first create this for create capsule query. Use for sorry use here async trait and implement table exists for DB client. It's giving now table exit giving you error to create a missing function create capsule because we are trade here and we are using trade any in the struct like this struct any struct it will give you the by default error to create first this function. Okay, let's create this function otherwise you can direct copy from up and just the page is here. Okay, let row because we are returning a capsule that will bring the row query as macro use macro. Okay, why we are using macro rule because we are when writing and save our file that time it will give our query error if query is wrong or not. Okay, now use capsule and create R has this. Okay, now it insert make sure spelling it right into capsules. Make sure your database spelling also right, otherwise it will give our error. Okay, don't worry. When we need to save our file, that time our database will be error. It will when our SQL macro we are using SQL macro execution query with that time it will execute query. Okay, you can execute query and check if any variable missing, anything is wrong. We are returning this capsule or not. This capsule odd value we are returning from our database or not. It will take care of it. Okay, public ID, name, email, title, message, unlocked. Okay, values will be $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5, $6. Name, email, title, message, unlocked. It's all $6 value. That will be writing here. And return. Returning, we need ID, public ID, name, email, title, message, so locate, locate, and also we need from database created it, unlocked it, is created it, unlocked it, and you will send or not. Just I am copying from this value and using this format for creating it. Okay, just write this whole thing for return. If you are done, just pass your public name unlocked and everything. Now you can use it here. So fetch sorry database error near percentage. Okay, this is percentage error. See whenever we are writing, you can see when we are writing a query, that time our database giving a error means when we are writing, that time is executing the queries macro. Okay, not save on the file. Okay, this is advantage of Rust. If I write name here wrong, you can see capsule it on name with database column. There is no return in database column capsule that must have. Okay, that was fine. Okay, after this when we have any error of here, yes, then we cannot see any function like fetch one, fetch optional. Okay, we can solve this error. Here not database any return error. You can say fetch, fetch all, fetch many, fetch. This all function is coming. Okay, that is SQL giving us an advantage without any query errors. You cannot write any function here. If query is solved, if query is right, you can write function like this fh1 self dot cool dot away return error or otherwise just return a row. Okay, that is great job for our SQL doing for us. We are writing this time, it will check in database the query is wrong or not. It was great for our project. Okay, now create a new function here async fn get all capsules and self. Only passing self, we are not passing anything else. Okay, result back capsule, we are returning a array of capsule, we are returning a vector of capsule, we are returning so many capsule, not only one capsule. Okay, that's why we are returning array of capsule. Okay, now we save it a function. It directly give our error. We create this function in 4DP client also. Now just write here a query for get all capsule let capsules capsule query as okay. Use a macro. This is sounds funny. Capsules are as select you select start from sorry from will be from capsule small capsules there is an order by created at which one is last created we are returning in that order as descending order. Okay, now just write here fetch all and web dot tool dot await and this. Okay, we are writing await and question mark. It means if we are not writing question mark, you can see here result, web capsule or error. This error or this error. Okay. I am writing a question mark here and this question mark here and it will return our only in capsule only a vector of capsule. Okay. Vector of capsule and it will return from here. And this question mark means any time of error in our query come, this will directly return a query from this will directly return an error from this error to our front end. Okay. Now if you save, this will go on every error. There is no error. Now let's create another function for our query performance. Get capsule by sorry public ID is need self and public ID str and this will return optional capsule and error. Okay, now our great giving our error for also create field for function. Now you can see here I am using here capsule and here using optional capsule because if sometimes public ID is not available and you send us some unique public ID that not available in our database, that time we are sending a user a null capsule with there is a no capsule. Okay, let result equal to query as use a macro. This is directly result of query error. Okay, let's create this. Stop it here. Select star from capsules where public underscore id equal to $1. Okay, $1 is our public id. Okay, now fetch optional cell dot pull dot await question mark this and we are returning only optional capsule. Okay, this will return where optional means we should give our optional capsule. If there is a no capsule, it will return a nothing. Okay, we are just returning from here a result that our capsule. So when we save this file, there is a no error in the file. It means we are writing everything is perfectly. Our query is also perfect. Our thread also perfect. Then everything is perfect. Okay, I want to show you something. Okay, we are using thread table exit here, and it implements for a DB client. What we are using is self. What means of it? We are using DB client. It cool. It come in the cell. Anything of a DB client, we are writing anything else like hello with a string. Okay, if and now here also I write hello with empty string. This need like this. Here we need comma, and this is okay. Now you can see here if I write any cell and any space, you can see here I have clone from clone into create capsule, get all capsule. This all functions come into DB client cell using from here thread for DB client. Okay, you can see here all capsule functions are here. We have created it, create capsule, get all capsule, get capsule by ID. Okay, and here also a variable for hello we created now, and pool, that is our here pool. Okay, which we are using in here to fetch. Right. Now you can understand how it's working. Just remove hello. We don't need it. Just remove hello. Now only if you understand how it's working, how the cat pool is coming, self pool coming, and we whenever we are writing, just I show you in DB client. Here is a DB client. Okay, now if we are write, you can DB client dot create a capsule. Okay. Now here the create the capsule come. This is the advantage of us. We need to write and just pass this DB client to everywhere, and from DB client to we use only this function when we need to use. Otherwise, it not run anywhere in our project. This is advantage of our capsule. Rust, trade, async trade, and DB client truck, everything. Okay. Now we need to create the okay. Let's remove your database. At least only we need this. Okay. Now we need to create the one last file, which is handler. Let's create handler file. The .rs file rs now. Okay. And mod it here mod handler and save it. Now our handler is globally. We are using in handler. We are using error HTTP error. Okay. We are using our DTOs for creating DTOs, request DTOs, and everything is. And also we are using all these functions: create capsule, get capsule by ID, public ID. Okay. This giving your warning. We are not using it anywhere right now. We are not using it the matter we created, but it never be uses in our project. Okay. This error will come when we create here everything. Just complete it and she can. Let's continue build our handler file. Okay. First of all, creating our async function create capsule with extension with app state with extension are app state. Okay. Now lesson is automatically completing for us. So import here result will be implement into response and HTTP error. Okay. First, validate the body dot valid. Okay, sorry. Also need to raise an item for next round. Now, what? What? Request. So, validate event putting. Then why is not coming here? Validate function like this and dot map underscore error is http error dot get request dot to string, right? Now here is something gone wrong. So if checking for it, let's continue. Let public ID equal to manoid 10. Let okay, now screen oil and not find and actually cannot find body. Okay, sorry, here is the body. Now we can use capsule equal to abstract.db client dot create capsule. So we need to pass email, name, title, message, unlocked date, and public ID. Let's first pass body and body dot name. Let's copy it and paste it here for email, for title, for message, and the public ID would comes with public ID. Dot await dot after dot await enter new line map error will be like this http error server error right e dot to string. Okay, let the response equal to create capsule response public id equal to capsule dot public id and unlock equal to capsule dot unlocked dot unwrap. Read dot JSON response. Here's the semi-simple response. Okay, no ID cannot be found in. Okay, now we can use like this. We have made like this. Big ID input like this and not like this. This one like this. Okay, now it's completed. Now let's build our get all capsule function async fn get all capsule extension entities and result implement into response and HTTP error. Okay, now let capsule it auto completed capsules like this HTTP error into server error a dot pull string. Okay, okay, as abstract db line get all capsule await map error HTTP server error like this. Okay, then let capsule underscore DTO. It will return our whacked capsule DTO. Okay. Now like this capsule dot into iter dot map into like this into not to anything else dot collect. Okay. This will return our capsule by using a is from capsule to capsule DTO. Okay. This will convert into a capsule DTO and return in vector form. Okay. Okay, JSON is done. Pub async. If I'm creating a new function that capsule put by public ID extension this and we need here part from Axum extract part like this. Enter here public ID and part is a string. Okay, result into response HTTP error due to same always let capsule so DTO capsule equal to this. Okay, automatic complete by my VS code dot away dot map error like this HTTP error server error e dot to string like this. I will give a capsule optional. Okay, let match capsule if have capsule. It means some. Okay, capsule. Okay, we have capsule is means some means we have capsule and let capsule DTO with capsule DTO from capsule. Okay, now just return JSON capsule and here also missing none. It will return error HTTP bad request error capsule not found dot to string. Okay, now if say it's not giving any error, maybe everything is fine. Perfect. Okay, Now let's implement our router. This route in main function. So if you go to in main function, there is a we created a router, new extension and app. Just updating it. We are just updating it, nothing doing else. So just follow me. Router create post from Axum routing. Okay, post will come from yes, so Axum routing post will come from that. Okay, where it is here. Create capsule from handler. It needs extension and JSON be automatic take care by our Axum. Okay. Now create a second route for capsules. Let's post create. I'm sorry. Get all capsule. Okay. We need here no get not a post. Okay. It not showing our get. You can import like this. Get from router. Okay. Route slash capsule dash dot public ID. Ha ha. Get capsule by public ID from handler. Okay. This is function our handler this is called. We need here public ID and if you write this or you can write this will mean this is not a part of our URL means it is part of our URL but it's a dynamic. It has some value which we are writing here. It means it has string value. It will come from here. Okay. It will see a part of capsule get router with some string value after the capsule slash like this. I will show you like HTTP local local localhost 8000 slash capsule and I created some ID like this. Okay, like this any request come this will take this as a public ID our public ID and pass it this function where it's function in capsule public ID like here and we can pass it to our database to for check there is a capsule if capsule is there we can return a capsule detail otherwise we can return our simple capsule not found error. Okay, this is a simple example like here you can write anything but not like public ID. It's not part of the URL. It will take its also thing, but it's not part of our URL. This will match with this part. Here is a dynamic path. We can defining like this column like this. We are defining here a dynamic part of our URL. Okay. Now our writing to backend is completed. In detail, there is a end. Okay. Actually, we are not using it more. It never be read. Oh yeah, it never be read. And error also we are not using authentication or it or new. Okay, let's change it everything. Let's complete it. Now we can run our project. Open terminal. If you are using VS Code, Just page control plus J. It will open up terminal and close terminal. Just run cargo run. It will run our project. It will take some time for running project. Let the project to run. Okay. It will take some time for creating everything and running our project. When it completes, we can see any error it giving us or not after running this project. If there is no error, we can continue to build our front end. Otherwise, we've solved the first error. Okay, just wait for it. Now you can all of see our backend is running successfully. This is the warning we giving the we are not using the we never that is for variable. Okay, capsule it clone and debug is doing that code. Okay, and here so we are never uses it. If I be giving this warning, just ignore this warning and let continue build our front end. Okay, I will see you there. Okay, guys, let's set up our front end first. Okay, now you can see our backend is running successfully. Wait a minute. Here you can see our backend is running successfully on port 8000. Okay, now set up our front end. If you go to the my GitHub repository capsule front end, there you can find or otherwise you can find this repository link in video description. I already written and give it to in here. You can just clone this, just clone here, come over, download it zip and unzip in your system or just clone it from here. Okay, when you clone, I already cloned it. Okay, I'm not showing I show you code where to you clone from here to your repos your system. Okay, so guys, here it is my content where I am already set up it here. You can write this git clone and paste it URL like this and press enter. This will clone your clone my capsule frontend in your system. Okay. After the clone this project, like after the clone of this project, you can just run npm I. It will install all necessary dependency for our project which we are using here. We are using everything. Everything is set up it here. You need to just import, download this repository using npm I. Okay. I saw in some so many people asking me in the Node.js setup. They are using the npx create or npm not working in PowerShell in Windows. They are using the command prompt like this. Here it can use npm I, npm anything. If not working your in PowerShell, use the command prompt or CMD. This is the same both are same. I am using a PowerShell because of its work on my PC. Okay, and you can just open a app. You can see here is a page or Excel. This is the home page for our, and you can see here get all capsule get all capsule. We are using a exos for getting our capsule. I am setting here a API based URL which our port, localhost port, which is running in our backend 8000. You can see here 8000 which is running our backend. I am setting it front end here. Wait a minute. Okay. In front end here, I am setting this same URL. If you have changed the port of backend or anything, just change here port. Get all capsule means our all capsule getting get a capsule by ID. We need in this public ID. We need to only pass this public ID and create capsule. We need all this data and just pass it to here. It will save and do anything. Here is a main function for creating page. Okay, this is a form where I am not using any simple. This is simple form. This is simple form. Not using more the session form and anything. It's okay. I create a simple form. This error whatever. Okay, if saying the not use this, just use of it that uses here. Okay, really simple. As what come. Everything is okay here. Just ignore this error. This it will never do this. After we creating submitting form, it will validate everything, check the form and get the form data. We submitting false if any error. When after everything is perfect, we can create the capsule. We will con create a capsule is function on create capsule function and pass everything. We are passing date in ISO string. Okay, and we backend will handle it also string and it will return a public ID and we can save. We can route push means we can change the route to capsule public ID. Here it is capsule public ID. We are writing a public ID like this in Next.js. It means it's a dynamic ID. When you can see in params there is a ID string. The params will give you ID. The async function capsule page. You can see we are using here a synchronized function in capsule page. It means this function only work on server side, not a client side. Okay. From server side, we are calling our public ID to send to our backend to get all capsule detail. Okay. Capsule detail. Wait. Here we are using a capsules and in backend we are using capsule. So in backend we are using capsule. I will update this. You don't need to change in if you are cloning from my side, my GitHub repository. You don't need to change. I will update it after every changes. Okay. Okay. It means this is a dynamic. It means this param is the dynamic. This ID is the dynamic. When you writing it in square bracket in Next.js, if you write like this in square bracket ID, means it's a dynamic ID. Like we show in our Rust project. You can it will be HTTP localhost 8000 means 3000 if we run by default in 3000 class capsule slash ID means anything like this ID, this string our ID or 123 ID means anything which generated by our public ID in backend. We are written that code. That ID will come here. This is dynamically is set it here. Okay. Okay. The ID we can take and unlock. We can set it is unlocked or not. That's why we are if it's not unlocked, the URL so unlocked on or unlocked it on. Everything it depends on it unlocked or not. Okay. There is a capsule space. It get all capsule and everything is perfectly fine here. Let's see our content in action. We open terminal and simply run npm run dev. It will take some small time and run it in localhost 3000 that I will open and see you how it works. How we show in content. Okay. Is first need to run it perfectly. I am trying to open it in our browser. It will loading. You can see here is compiling our slash means home page. Which one is this? If any error occurs, it will return a not found error not found page. Yeah, okay, you can just ignore this error. This is not manual error. This is a typing error, syntax error. Okay, when it completed uh, compiling, I can see you in the page. Okay, and we can test with our project. You can see our link button. This is our button UI. This will copy a button to the clipboard and share anyone to. Now our website is running. I will show you in browser. Our website look like this: digital time capsule. Create a message for the future. Lock your thought, memory, and visit with digital time capsule. Will unlock the date you choose. Okay. Here we not created any capsule right now. You can see here we are not created any capsule right now. You can just use like this. Okay. Create a capsule. When we click on it, the page is compiling. Okay. You can see here the page is compiling, and now it's compiled. We can see here. Okay. This is our page where we are creating a form like this and enter your name like anything. I am using Aarambh DevOps and my email is Aarambh Dev or like example @gmail.com. Okay, capsule title like testing or something else, thing else. Okay, the message you can write here testing message. It's so good to load, and this is our dash selector when widget you want to unlock in future. Okay, when you try to creating a disk, this will create and redirect to you a page. The page is compiling right now, and you can see like this the page testing something else by Aarambh. Time Capsule is unlocked in 16.4.25. Come back to edit content and you can copy link here and share with anyone. This is your capsule ID. Time capsule ID. This is your time capsule ID. Okay. You can see a time capsule. There is a created only one capsule by Aarambh. Okay. Okay. I'm not creating any homepage link here. You can just update if you want and not. Uh, After it unlocked, let me unlock this first. Then I will show you after it unlocked how to it look. Okay. Wait a minute. I am just updating in my database a simple date. Okay, it unlocked account. So like this, I am just opening my database. When it open, I will show you how it works. After view after how it unlocked. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. And that is for today's build. The Time Capsule project using Axum and Next.js. I hope you learned something new and enjoy watching the progress. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more Rust and full stack content and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. If you supported this channel, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit helps me to keep going. And don't forget to join Discord server. Let's grow together as a dev community. And again, this is my first video using my real voice. Let me know in the comments should I keep using my voice or switch back to the AI voice like in previous video. Thanks for watching and as always, happy coding.